We live in the red.
Live in the Reds.
We finally got this dude in the set, bro. We made him come out of hibernation, bro.
Hibernation is crazy.
This one of the dudes that we try to text him, bro, think we one of his hoes and doesn't respond till like a week later.
I'm working on it.
What was the last movie that y'all went to watch?
Doom Part 2?
What is it about?
It's so complex to even explain.
It's about prophecy. It's about religion.
Yeah.
It's about lies.
Well, really, it's like Star Wars.
It's what Star Wars was based off of. The creator of Star Wars, whatever his name is, right, took inspiration from
Lucas?
Doom.
Yeah.
He took inspiration from Doom to create Star Wars.
Because the books were created in the 60s. And he didn't come up with the script for the Star Wars movie till like the mid 70s. And then Star Wars came out like 1977.
There's a lot of similarities between characters and their arcs.
Yeah.
From Star Wars to Doom. There's a lot of similarities.
Like, if you do like a side-by-side comparison with like every character, like Paul Atreides, Anakin Skywalker, literally carbon copies of each other.
Wait, what did y'all think when y'all went to see me? When was the first time y'all went to go see me perform? Was it like a year or two ago?
Was it?
Wait, did you go to see my Adam and Eve?
No.
I saw you 2022. That was the first show I seen. It was either October or November. That's the one I went to.
Was I playing Hercules?
Yeah.
Is that the one you went to too?
I've seen only 2 shows that come to mind. The first one I don't remember as much. The second one is the one that I remember the best. The most recent one with the blood, with the pictures.
Yeah, obviously that one.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you came to see the Spanish one too.
I came to see the show one. Yeah, that's the one you're talking about. That was interesting.
Okay, for Oedipus Rex, what was like y'all's initial reaction to that?
Bro, that shit was crazy.
I think it would be interesting.
It was very intense.
In the middle of the show, I was like Googling things for context so I could understand the context of the show, where it's beginning and where it was going. And I enjoyed, first of all, that's a wild story.
Yeah.
That's a wild. So, dude, we need to tell listeners about Oedipus Rex and what the story is.
I ended up killing my father and marrying my mother, but I didn't know that was my mother. Because, I mean, it had been years since I've seen her, and I was abandoned when I was a child. So by the time we met again, I didn't know that was her. Until basically the story was discovering later and later. And me, I was the king. So I ended up telling the people of my village, hey, whoever killed the king is going to pay for it. And I discovered it was me. So I basically tortured myself.
Yeah,
Ripped
kids
my eyes
with
out.
your mom.
Cream pie my mom.
Yeah. W history lesson.
Yeah, that's the story of Oedipus Rex.
Yeah.
And it's a deep psychology show. I mean, you got to really touch into some darkness to really like play the role.
You touched into it. I was thoroughly entertained.
Yeah.
Especially when you came out, the blindfold and the
Man, that shit
blood.
was crazy.
Went under soliloquy. I was like, that's it.
I wish I could tell the story behind the cast.
He wants to tell us so bad.
There's
Mine
people
is
watching.
What's the
There's
story?
people watching, but I can't.
Let them watch.
Man, you might as well.
I want to know that. I don't know.
You have to address the elephant in the room.
I mean, the only thing I say, because I don't want to get too deep into it.
Why are you holding the banana like that?
Hold on, like I got it.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
All I gotta say is, in the acting world, I feel like it's very sensitive to have a partner because anything can happen. You have roles that are intimate with others. You have roles that you gotta get close to people. So, I mean, sometimes that just goes out the window. That you got a relationship, because we're over here spending hours a day, every day, like basically building relationships with these people. Because it's not just acting, like we gotta actually build relationships so we can be comfortable doing certain shit with them. So people be pushing boundaries.
And that's just like in anything, like in the acting industry, the music industry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
In the
it's
workforce.
Just, yeah,
like people
it's just
have
a dangerous. Oh, it's probably worse in the workforce than in anything.
I wouldn't say the worst. I mean, you love clothes. But in the workforce, like your woman might have like a work hubby or some shit like that.
Could you date an actor?
Nah.
No. The hypocrisy.
Like I'm a hypocrite for it because I'm an actor, but I know what goes on in the fucking industry, so it's like.
Would you understand if a girl said she wouldn't want to date you because of what you just mentioned, how you have to build relationships and stuff like that? Or would you look at her as like, you're being bogus?
I haven't had a problem with it.
Yeah. No girl is like mentioned that.
I mean, there was an instance where I got congratulated after the show, and this girl like jumped on me. Like, she was like, "Oh my gosh, Javi, you did so amazing!" And she jumped on me, and the girl at the time, she was right next to me.
Nah, you never told me
That's
that.
crazy. she jumped, like she straddled you?
She did that, she jumped on me, and she was like, "Oh my God."
You didn't know her?
Huh? No, I did. That's why she knew me.
Nah.
Like, that's why she was comfortable enough doing it. But it just didn't look good. And she was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
That's crazy.
and then the funny part is about it, I could say it's not, I don't give a fuck, but the girl that jumped on me, she was like, she acknowledged the girl I was with at the time, and she was like, "Oh my God, like, do you remember me? I saw you at the last show, right?" And she was talking about another different girl, bro. She was like, so she confused the girls. And that's like the worst. She looked at me like,
Damn.
"No, that's another bitch." That's what she was like.
But I mean, at least you dodged a bullet, I guess. You don't gotta deal with them.
Not anymore. But shit like that can happen, bro. In the acting world.
Speaking of work husbands.
But it's like I think my question is like, how do you deal with that? Like, I know it's not really any way to deal with it, but like, how do you go about it when it happens? Is it kind of just like a slap on the wrist or something, or is it just like?
But at this point, I don't really care.
I mean, because it's like it's not like it's a problem, you know?
Yeah.
Because you got more shit to worry about than that.
Isn't it the same with you though? At the airport,
What you mean?
with the work hubby and all that shit.
Yeah, when I was at Bush and I worked with Fly Emirates, yes, there's a lot of that going on. Matter of fact, I've met and I've caught a few bodies from the work environment at Bush, because at the airport you're mingling with everybody. So you have to talk to security, you gotta talk to TSA, you gotta talk to the flight attendants, you gotta talk to other airport people who work in different spaces, you know, or talk to the baggage people, you gotta talk to, you know, people who work outside. So everybody kind of mingles with everybody. It's like 30, 40,000 people who work at the airport. So everybody's talking to, you know, somebody. And
Bush is big as shit.
exactly, it's a huge airport. So there's a lot of people talking to a lot of people, and there's definitely some stories that I've made happen from talking to people at the airport.
What's like a job that if your girl had, you wouldn't really like? Like, where you wouldn't want her to feel comfortable?
Stripper,
Stripper?
sex worker, anything in that region.
I question the bottle girls.
Oh, definitely those.
They're kind of suspect to me. Not all bottle girls and nightlife industry people are like that, but I'm currently in college and I've talked to, mingled, and I'm around some of these girls. They be doing some shit. Yeah, bottle girls, you know, they be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They
Like-
the equivalent of strippers, bro. Like
Like,
they're all involved with like the same stuff. You know what I mean? It's all like in the same category.
Kind of.
So you wouldn't feel comfortable with a bottle girl?
I'd be skeptical. You know, we really have to have a conversation about it. But if I met a girl at the grocery store and we ended up going on the first date and I was like, "What do you do?" She's like, "I'm in bottle service." Depending on what else is said, that might be the last time we interact.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because it's at clubs, especially at big clubs. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like any like rapper or like big money person can be like, "Hey."
Not to mention, we live in Houston, bro, and you know how it is out here. So I can't trust it. I can't
It'd
trust
be way
it.
worse in Miami or some shit like that.
I think it's just as bad as here, honestly.
You think
Oh,
so?
no.
Houston is that city. Houston is a top tier city. More and more people are moving here.
Yeah.
But like I said, if they're a trustworthy person, I think so. But once again, it's just not the best environment of which I want my person or partner to consistently be in. A lot of shit happens. A lot of shit goes
Now,
on.
I'll say this, and it may come off as like kind of like condescending in a way, but I think there's people in those like type of job fields that are actually like very mature. But from my fair share of meeting those type of people. They're all just like egotistical as hell.
Not for real. I thought the same thing about waiters.
About who?
About waiters.
Waiters. So.
Yeah, like waiters at upper scale restaurants. I thought that at first until I met one, and I mean it was cool. Like you said, like if it's the certain level of trust, like you kind of throw it out the window. Like so if y'all was low on on income, y'all needed something to make money, and so like we gotta make OnlyFans or something. We gotta get in the strip club or make some money.
But I mean, like, what I don't understand and what I'm confused about is like, why is it that nowadays that's like the new norm? It's like, why is it that like, oh, I'm behind on my bills. Oh, I need to pay off my college tuition. Oh, let me just do OnlyFans. Like, why is that so normalized?
It's easily available.
Yeah,
Cause like we have to think about it. If put yourself in women's shoes.
mm-hmm.
Tomorrow, poof, you have titties and ass and a vagina, and you know for a fact that it only takes a few posts and you can get a couple $100. You never gonna meet these men. You're not gonna know these men. They're never gonna pop up in your life, right? They're not gonna come to your job and embarrass you. They're not popping up to your college, right? But it's like, yo, life is hard. Getting paid $13 an hour at McDonald's ain't cutting it.
13 at McDonald's,
right? I need, so let me take these pictures, bikini pop, whatever. And
just show toe pictures.
I get it.
I can't even lie and act like I wouldn't. I would. If I was a woman, I'm definitely selling my shit online. I don't know. Like, I don't care. But it's not like something I would do like long term. Like, I don't want to be looked at as a whore.
Bro, you saw how much Bad Baby made as soon as she turned 18?
That's
But that's just
weird.
weird.
She made 12 mil.
All these grown men like
18.
waiting, fucking scouting until she's 18 and shit.
Hell yeah, I was waiting too.
That's sad.
That's weird. Wait, what?
Nah, she
I didn't even hear what
She's older than us.
Nah.
She's older than us, bro.
No, she's not.
But it's like, bro, I think that's crazy. Like, there's girls out here making millions on OnlyFans.
Hell yeah, bro.
From doing nothing.
She just putting bikini pictures. It's not even real. Like, she's not getting.
Like, it's so low effort, bro. Like, if it was making millions from like being like full on naked and shit and all of that, I could understand that. But it's like, it's just low effort nonsense.
Cause these creeps were in them fucking vans, like eyeing her out, and she was like 13, 14 on Dr. Phil.
No, bro. The real truth is, niggas, and yes, niggas have no dick discipline, or a good majority of them don't.
Well, there's a lot of men, especially in our generation, our age group, no dick discipline.
It's crazy out here.
It's hard to have dick discipline.
It's hard.
So, like, I get it. It's hard. It's tough.
Yeah.
Do you have good dick discipline?
Barely. I didn't even think or consider to work on something like that until like 2-3 years ago.
2-3 years ago?
Yeah. How old am I? I'm 22. So I didn't really. None of these things started clicking in my head, or did I start focusing on these things until like 19.
Bro, there's dudes that are in their 40s that still can't get it right.
Yeah.
So it's better to start young.
I got men in my family like this, bro.
For real?
Yes.
Deadass?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Got uncles that be cream pieing on little girls?
No, just they don't have dick discipline.
How you know? You be hearing them?
No, I can tell by their actions. Like, when somebody has a child with somebody that we can tell that it wasn't planned or didn't want to have a child with, that's poor dick discipline. He wasn't taking the proper precautions. When you see, these young men being fathers at 20, 21, like some of my cousins are, it's like, I know you didn't plan to have this kid. You was up there playing football, trying to do something, and you just didn't wear a condom. That's why you got kids now. That's poor dick discipline.
So let me ask you a question. So, is it a lack of dick discipline, or is it not considered a lack of dick discipline if they have a child at like a very young age, like 22, 23, but like they fill in that supporting role, like they show up for the kid and everything? Would it be different than like if they just had a child at that age and like just went through life knowing that they made that choice?
My answer lies in the context of the child. Did they have that kid on purpose? If the answer is no, poor dick discipline. That was.
I mean, I feel
That
like
just
no person has a kid on purpose, you know.
I disagree.
Only white people. They be planning it like, man, we've been trying for months, but not working. I'm like, what? This dude be cream pounder every day trying to have a kid?
Yeah, like plenty. I think to answer your question, once again, my answer lies is if this wasn't intentional, say, hey, we're gonna have this kid, then no problem with that. If it was, we're just fucking, oops, pregnant. I mean, I'm gonna step up, but this wasn't part of the plan. Then I think that's of discipline.
But what if it's like y'all together? Y'all are together and y'all are like, we're not gonna necessarily plan it, but if it happens,
Then that's not dick discipline because y'all are intending to have a kid, even though
that's not necessarily.
even though y'all not
You're
focused
prepared
on the
for it.
timing, you still want to have a kid.
you're
Right?
prepared for it.
A good 90% of black men in this country have no dick.
Don't do us like that.
You think you were made on
Don't do
purpose?
us like that.
I wasn't made on purpose, but I wasn't put on this earth to fuck every girl I see.
No, I'm saying like you think like you were planned. I don't think any of us were planned.
How am I supposed to know that?
Ask your mom.
That's your mom.
I've had this, it's weird to think, but I've had this conversation with my mom. I know I wasn't playing for sure.
You weren't?
No.
So your dad just had a weak pull-out game?
Yes. That's exactly what it was. Majority of kids out here are not planned.
But isn't that crazy though? Like,
Yes.
you build this relationship with their parents, and then it turns out that you coming on this world like wasn't.
It wasn't.
planned.
It's crazy.
When your
But,
mom
like,
found out
were
you
you
existed, she
offended?
was scared.
Were you offended?
Hmm?
Were you offended?
No. Because I mean, I get it. Like, sex is fun. You have somebody you enjoy doing it with, you spend time with this person, and it all just works. And, you know, part of that, or that side effect, or for some people, a consequence is birth. When you're not thinking about it. When you're 19, 20, same age as us, some people aren't considering these things. And, I mean, I don't feel offended. I don't feel less than. It happens.
it doesn't take away from the love and support your parents give you.
Exactly.
It's just a little different knowing that it's your mom or your dad that had it fucked up.
Yeah. And I get them, like, because, like, they were once my age. Like, yeah, if I'm stupid, I know you used to
How
be
old were
stupid,
they?
too.
When they had you.
My dad was around my age, or a little younger than me.
Damn.
And my mom was like 20.
Oh, they're like close in age?
Yeah, they were close in age, and it was in college.
Man, that's like the worst time to have a kid.
It could be good or it could be bad because it's like if you have a kid, you gotta look at the spectrum. Because it's like you can either look at it like, oh, this can be my biggest motivation, or fuck, I'm fucked. I gotta just drop everything.
Man,
Focus on this kid.
it don't really matter what the situation is. Like, I feel like having a kid while like you're in school trying to prepare your life for whatever you want to prepare it for, it's like it's not always gonna end the way you want it to, because like school is already taking up so much of your time and commitment that like having a kid will just kind of drive you over the edge, bro. I think the ideal age to have a kid is probably like 25 and up. So,
Bro, you know what's crazy though? We getting close to that point.
I know.
We getting close to that point, bro.
That's honestly like the scariest thing, but it's also the most beautiful thing because we're all destined to have that life that we always wanted. And having a family is definitely on all of our itineraries. Am I lying?
That might not be it for me. I'm going to give a two-part answer.
Okay.
The first part of my answer lies in answering the question you talk about now. When's the perfect time to have a kid? For me, it doesn't really have an age. It has a mental factor and a financial factor.
Agreed.
So if I was financially ready now, I'd be like, okay, have a kid. 22 years old. If I'm not there until I'm 35, then guess what? I'm not having a kid until I'm 35. And the other part of that is for me, due to what I want to do, as in fly, pursue being a pilot in aviation, that might take a while. And so until that's completed, definitely not having kids. And even then, when I look at my life and what I want to do and the things I enjoy and whatnot, like not having children, it doesn't really make or break anything for me. Like, I don't necessarily dream of being a father, and I think I'd be fine without kids. If I do have a child, it's fine. If I don't,
Man, we have to have kids though.
do we?
I don't think you have
feel
to,
like-
but life would be so much better if
It would be. I feel like that's what we're put on the earth too. We have to reproduce. I feel like in a way, and I would want, cause I can't live forever, so I would want my generation and my legacy to keep going. And I mean, if I make it at 21 or 22, shit, I'll have a kid. Fuck it.
But shit, you already 21.
That's why. Like, imagine like later this year or something. Like anything can happen in 6 months. So it's like I'll be like, fuck it, let's have a kid.
Why is life better with kids?
Huh?
Because they push you to be so much better, and they push you to do things that's like out of your comfort zone.
Because you're not gonna be living for yourself no more. And like I said, like, what do you think your purpose is in life?
I don't know.
You gotta figure that out.
Before you have kids, like, think about the type of person you are. You know, you're selfish about yourself. You want to see yourself do better. You want to see yourself improve. But when you have kids, you gotta learn to not necessarily put yourself to the side, but devote less and less time to like just only caring about yourself, and devote that time and that energy and that commitment to people that are willing to stay by your side forever. Kids, no matter what happens, they came out of you, they gonna be you forever, right?
No, they're gonna be them forever.
Yeah.
But
I
they
mean,
came
you got
out
raised
of
them.
them nuts, so they are a part of you.
You mentioned the word selfish. In my mind, there is nothing more selfish than bringing forth a life that didn't ask to be brought forth. That kid didn't ask to be here. You took it upon yourself to create a sense of responsibility for you.
Okay, but that's not necessary. Are you saying that like it's a
That's
bad thing?
selfish.
That's
If
not-
the thing is, when you talk about living life before kids, you say it's selfish. Is that a bad thing?
No, not at all. I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean like, you know, like,
Because you're still
You
living
just-
for yourself on both ends in my mind.
right, like what I mean by like selfish is like you're just in a part of your life where you're trying to figure shit out, bro. You're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to figure out what you want to do. You're trying to figure out what you're living life for. But then it's like once you have kids, it's like, okay, you're starting to figure. You don't necessarily have it all figured out, but you're starting to get a glimpse of what that life is going to be. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like having kids will kind of like prepare you for that.
It kind of does open another door to make you, now you're more than just a pilot and a brother and all these different like labels that you have for yourself. Now you're a father too.
Yeah.
Like you gotta develop better leadership skills, better like you're a provider now. Like
I think you can 100% find purpose without children in your life. And I think there are plenty of men and women who are doing that and have done that and will continue to do that. And I think all the things you talk about, leadership skills, perspective, new doors in life, all of those are avenues and things that are built and found without having children or a family to take care of.
but eventually, don't you think? Like Lucas Graham said, one day I'll be 30 years old.
And
Mama told me.
make yourself some friends or you'll be lonely.
No, when he was like, hope I have some kids to warm me, something like that. Once
Something like
I'll
that.
be 60 years
It's-
old, will I think the world is colder? Will I have a lot of children who can warm me?
So kind of like
You're gonna be 50,
yeah.
looking back like, damn, my nut doesn't work no more. It's too late.
Okay, but kind of picking off of what he said, or picking back off of what he said, like, I understand you can make it in this life without having kids, without the responsibility of them, but it's just like, where's the fun in that? Like, wouldn't you want, think about it, wouldn't you want to, like, enjoy, like, raising a family, you know what I'm saying, traveling together, doing things together, spending quality time, wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, and you unlock the phrase, "Oh my son." You can say that like with meaning now.
Like,
Dude, I put that on my son.
like the amount of memories that you can have, like the amount of things that you can learn from them, all of that, bro. Like that's why having kids is so beautiful.
Did you have a present father growing up?
Yes.
Do you think? Would you say he's a great father?
Say he's a good dad, yeah.
Would you say he did his part?
He's trying to do his part.
How so?
I mean, parenting It's a ever-changing thing. It's not like a book on how to do it. So everybody makes their mistakes. You just gotta roll with the punches and do what you think is best.
You think he added a little salt of himself to you to help you be a better man?
Sure.
You think so?
I mean, every kid has, you know, that one quality of their parents that they may not see, but it's pretty obvious, you know.
It could be genetic too.
It's all most of the time it's always genetic.
Like it's not necessarily things that are taught like one-on-one, but like I do think some shit you just inherit from your parents. Like even if they're not there.
Like mannerisms and stuff like that. You get all that from your parents.
I think the most that you inherit, like genetic-wise, may be like the forming bases of your personality, like your temperament. Everything outside of that, like mannerisms and things you tend to say and how you talk, I think that's kind of like a learned behavior from your environment.
Yeah.
But to answer, to go back to what you was mentioning about traveling and memories and all those things, all of that is very much attainable with friends, cousins, mentors, mentees.
Until you're 40, 45.
Nah, even when you're 40, 45, because my dad, right, all of his best memories, at least to my knowledge, travel times, all of that are with his friends. Some have kids, some don't, but the biggest parts of his life, they come from, you know, his friends and brothers, and they go out and do things.
But he still has some stories that he has kids. You think he just doesn't talk about y'all at all?
Not necessarily. Like he talks about it with other people who have kids, but when he just goes to go out and have fun, they're not sitting at the bar in Thailand talking about their kids.
Thailand?
No, they're sitting at the bar talking about whatever it is they enjoy. You know, their hobbies, their work, their whatever.
I can understand that, but at the end of the day, I feel like having kids is it's like something that you're very appreciative for.
Don't you think that making that him as a father, in a sense, kind of like structured him too? Like, don't you think he would be different if he wasn't a father?
I think, well, actions make you different. They change. There's a myriad of paths that lay out before you. You choose to do this, that's option A. You choose to do this, that's option B, and so forth. So he would 100% be a different man if he did have him.
That's kind of like what I had said, where like when you have kids, they push you to like go out of your comfort zone, and it's one of those things where where you have to step up as a person, you know. Like being a father is a huge commitment. Being a mother is a huge commitment that you may not even be ready for, and that's fine. But all you gotta do is like you gotta pick up on those things while they're happening, and then be better. You know, it's not like necessarily you gotta. It's like he says. It's not like a book. It's not like a fucking how-to guide on. How can I be a good dad?
Parenting for dummies.
You just gotta figure it out on your own.
This is something you have to learn. It's just like anything. Everything is a learning process.
You think life without children is better?
I mean, right now, bro, I'm enjoying my life without kids, obviously. But
Yeah.
I feel like after you get so much shit done, like imagine, bro, all this shit's gonna get repetitive. Like you can travel the world as much as you want. You can go with friends as much as you want. If you're 40 and you have no kids, bro, don't you think eventually this shit's gonna be like, damn?
I would definitely look at somebody a certain way if they're over the age of 40 and aren't married
too, bro.
or don't have kids.
I would.
That would tell me a lot about their character.
As Sam's Club, bro.
Yeah.
So a single old person, you look at them and be like, something's off with you.
Definitely,
something
yes.
happened.
Because nobody just doesn't have kids by choice,
Bro,
especially at that age. Yes.
Don't you think it's a courageous thing to have kids because you're basically like choosing to have a lifetime commitment. Like this kid's gonna be my kid for the rest of my life until they bury me in my grave. Sure. It's a courageous thing. I knew this dude at Sam's Club. He was like in his 40s, light skinned dude. He's just no offense, man. Like if you seen this man, I love you to death, man. Great dude, right?
Who are you even talking about?
This my old coworker, man. He's a great dude, but
How old is he?
he's like 40, 45. And they asked him, like, you got kids? And he's a janitor. I said, nah, I don't got no kids, no wife. I said, damn, bro. I just like had to like, almost like pity, like, damn. I wouldn't want to be that, like 40, 45, no kids, no wife.
Why?
That seems lonely.
I think that just maybe.
Say he just has friends and families around. Doesn't mean he's alone.
Damn, I think okay, I'm gonna retract my statement from when I said like nobody just doesn't have kids by choice. I feel like it just depends on your situation.
Yeah, if you've never run into a good mother, then I guess, but I think there's good women out there. Don't you think?
I think me and my girlfriend talk about these things all the time. Cause
shit can happen.
She can happen, but she doesn't really want kids either. At least not right now.
Y'all know early 20s.
And she doubts that she'll have it later on, and at the most she'll want one. But we constantly think about why that is and what a life would look like without children.
Y'all just gonna have cats, dogs,
just
guinea
us.
pigs, mice.
Just us.
guinea pigs.
Just us. I want a Maine Coon. You know what a Maine Coon is?
Those cats are massive.
Those cats are huge. I'm not
They're
even a cat
expensive,
person,
too.
but I like like a Maine Coon, like litter, like one fucking cat, like $3,500 for a baby.
God,
I buy that shit too.
you look like a grown man in the face too.
Mm-hmm. That's why I want to get one.
Would you want a son or a daughter?
Got a child?
Yeah.
I want to say I want a daughter, but it doesn't matter. I don't know.
It would matter because I don't think he would raise them the same.
Well, no, I wouldn't rate it the same, but the same does not equate to unequal. So
Unequal in what terms?
I said the same, not raising them the same doesn't equate to raising them unequal. So I'm gonna give both of them a good amount of effort to both. But I don't think it matters to me.
Yeah, but we just come from different places.
Yeah, so I don't know if I want to have a son or a daughter. I'm leaning towards daughter, honestly, but I don't know. Having a son would be fun.
Yeah, you'll turn into Project Mbappe or Project David Beckham or
Project Spartacus.
Yeah,
Man, I would love to.
Project
have a
Patrick
daughter.
Mahomes.
Facts.
Dude, I would freaking love to have a daughter because like I feel like. I don't know, man. I wouldn't be one of those dads that's like overprotective and shit. But
Shit, I would. If
if
my daughter's ever in this house and a dude tries to walk in and I hear it in my room, I'm fucking.
Okay,
that's in the top, bro. I don't care if he introduced himself to me.
That's
like,
different.
You going through that shit?
Oh my god! Whoa, that's different. I mean, like overprotective, or like I just won't let her do shit. Like I ain't gonna be one of those strict parents. Like
Strict parents create great liars. So be careful.
You gotta have a good balance and a good relationship with the kids. I think.
yeah. And I would never in my life ever let my kids download any form of social media except YouTube until they're 18.
Damn.
Yeah, bro.
Would you let them? Yeah,
I would never let my kids have TikTok ever.
Wow.
That's a good parenting skill.
I don't know. I feel
Because
like
if they want to learn something, I'm gonna teach
Exactly.
them.
The thing about it, when they're born, they don't know what the fuck TikTok is until you introduce them to that. So if they're like 1, 2, and then you give them an iPad to entertain them, the older they get, the more they want to crave that shit. But if they never introduce them to TikTok, Instagram, all that shit, they'll never know what the fuck it is.
I want to give them like I want to be like that traditional, not necessarily traditional father, because I'll let them have fun. Like we can go places, we can watch movies, all that kind of stuff. But like at the same time, I just don't want to set my kids up for failure.
I feel like that what you mentioned earlier about the YouTube stuff is like that's gonna be a little bit of social alienation.
We didn't have that shit
because we didn't grow up on. I mean, we did, but not.
Yeah, but this generation is, and it's only gonna get bigger and more intertwined. And so, like, social media is gonna be a part of everything we do and in our daily lives. And if you're gonna take that away from the child, that means she's gonna grow up basically the extreme opposite to her environment. So that's weird to me. That's gonna be tough.
I mean, it has to be like limited.
You can limit it, sure, but having nothing.
You can live
like
live like cavemen. Like,
we could do that, in 2002 on up, because social media, we were running flip phones, Instagram, all things were new.
Yeah.
Right? So it wasn't as intertwined as it is now. But now moving forward, it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna get bigger. And to say that my child is gonna have zero part of that, it's like that's tough. Like
I'm grateful for our generation. Like I feel like it was basically right before all this bullshit happened. But
Right
we
before
still get
the
to
world
adapt
got
into it at
whole,
an early age. Like we're still pretty young and we get to
right.
I guess I'm just like, I would just be way too cautious of like everything my kids are exposed to.
You have to be.
like these kids don't have fucking Michael Jackson and Prince and
We barely have.
They didn't have R. Kelly and Bill Cosby and all that.
Y'all still bumping R. Kelly?
Hell no.
Go.
I mean, at cookouts, yeah. I ain't bumping that shit in the car though.
And Selena. Oh, Selena. That was my crush when I was like 10. Like
I would marry a Hispanic woman. That's my goal, cause I love Latinos.
and he's against it.
That's your goal?
Hell yeah.
This guy's against it, man.
What are you doing?
You against Latinos?
What are you doing, bro?
What?
Why
They can
why
cook.
your
They can.
goal?
They can cook. They can clean. They're good caretakers.
So,
Okay, but I don't have nothing against black women. My preference is just Hispanic women.
why is your preference?
It's good, bro.
Cause like I said, they can cook, they can clean, they're good
They're
caretakers.
just the best, bro.
But if so, you list all these things for Hispanic women,
Mm-hmm.
and you agree that black women also have all of these things. So what tips the edge?
I just prefer Hispanic women.
You need a reason.
It's like
I give him
but
a reason.
I feel like if I gave a reason, like it's gonna offend people, and I don't
That's
want that
cool. That's
because
cool.
everybody has their preferences, and they can't clown me.
Let's
like
offend.
Like, don't you think like it's a good mix of culture? I think like if he gets with a Hispanic girl, she'll introduce him to the culture, and I mean, since me and Marshall been like close since
We're like yin and yang, bro.
yeah, and so it's like he's best friends with a Hispanic dude. It makes sense, bro. Get with a Hispanic girl.
It's just like it's
My
just that it's an
inner Dr.
experience.
Umar is kicking in right now.
Dr. Umar don't have nothing against
my
Hispanics.
inner. I
He
didn't
only
say,
hate white girls.
I didn't say anything against him. I'm just asking why. And you just saying it's just my
I
preference. I need a
don't
reason.
know because it's just something like so comforting about them, like it's like the way they love you, the way they like will want to like care for you in a way. It's just different from like any other.
You've experienced this, like dating an Hispanic girl?
No, but I can only imagine. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, whatever woman treats me right, you know what I'm saying?
But the only thing, bro, like if you
shit to me.
there's the good and there's the bad.
Go where you, I do agree. Go where you appreciate it.
There's the good and there's the bad.
Just not no white women.
Because I mean, shit, you've seen me. I've gotten the broken windshield, the fucking.
See, there's a
the
different
scars.
there's different types of Hispanic women. I like the nice,
You think I
carefree,
don't too,
wholesome ones. You
No.
like the crazy hoes,
Bro,
bro.
they're
bro.
not, here's the thing, bro. Everybody has a boiling point.
Everybody
Everybody-
to their point.
You bro, you
Some
if you make,
have it longer though.
but it's like, okay, but it's like if you provoke them to be that way, then it's like, you kind of like it's kind of like you getting what you ask for.
It's like the love-hate relationship though.
Yeah.
Like how you hear all the time, like Big Sean said, because girls only say I hate you to the guys that they love.
That might be a bar.
I think any little emotion that you can get out of a female is better than getting no emotion at all. That's why they say that the girls always go for the bad guys or all this shit.
Wait a minute. So you're saying if a girl cheats on you, that's better if she just didn't.
What?
That's basically what you're saying.
Did I ever
don't
say
think
that?
that's.
Not even just cheating, but like if a girl does you wrong,
He says
that's
he
basically
says,
better than like if
He
she
says-
just didn't show any type of energy at all. Is that what you're saying?
No, bro.
He says bad emotion is better than no emotion.
Yeah.
That's a bad emotion. Getting
Yeah, but
cheated on.
that's an extreme.
But it's an extreme. But guess
I'm
what?
saying,
It's still
like,
bad
if
emotion.
you-
It's still the decision that most
Bro,
people
no,
make.
like if you're to get on a girl's nerves or if you're able to trigger her some way, it doesn't have to be like direct effect. Like you don't have to slap the girl or some shit, get emotional. Like, I mean, like psychologically,
People have to care to get mad at you.
yeah, they have to give a fuck.
If there's no way I hate somebody that I feel nothing for.
Yeah,
Like I can't hate, a relative I've never met. I can hate you, because there's things about you that I like. A relationship was built strong enough ties that can be turned from, you know, good to bad.
And you'll see the little shit, bro. Like there's, why the fuck did he change his profile picture? Like shit like that. Like
a person who notices things like that scares me.
But that's real,
That's
bro. That's real, bro. But that's how you know they really, really, really do care or really like you.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it may be scary, but those are the type of people that will be there for you.
That's why I say I gotta watch what the fuck I say. But I mean, you gotta get to a point where you become stoic against like all this fucking shit that gets thrown to you.
Man, I just want to be in love with her and she be in love with me. Is it that hard?
Yes.
Like,
But love,
really
bro,
that hard?
love comes with a million emotions.
I forget that you're a lover boy.
Yes, like bro, why do I have to do why do I have to go through hell and back just to show my love for you? Like why
That's
can
what
I,
love is.
I know, but it's like I'm going through hell and back to the point to where I'm losing my sanity.
You
and
are
it's
gonna
like you're
lose your
sitting back
sanity.
being entertained by it. Why do I have to do why do I have to go through
You
this?
shouldn't. And no, that's not what love is.
That's-
Bro,
that's
in a
what
later
he's
point,
saying.
but if you're
That's
gonna
what
be,
he's saying.
if you're gonna be with someone for like 5 years, do you think they're not gonna drive you batshit crazy at one point?
Okay, but don't drive me batshit crazy to the point to where like
Love is more like of a commitment.
No, they're
that's not a good thing.
What do you mean it's not a good thing?
Love is you say it like a commitment, like oh, bro, it's like
Like
it's
y'all gonna be
basically
broke
like
together.
y'all
Y'all gonna be rich together. Y'all gonna be happy together. Y'all gonna be sad together. But y'all gonna stay committed because that's what love is.
no. What I mean when I say like love, when you say like love is a commitment, especially nowadays, is like
That doesn't
It's
mean you
more
gonna
like
cheat
a-
on me and then I'm gonna stay with you. That's
bro.
not what
Honestly,
love
it's
is.
more of an investment than a commitment these days. At least from what I see with my own two eyes. Now, personally, I can't say that because I don't think I've ever like truly been in love with somebody. I think I've only been infatuated with women, but I've never actually been in love. Like, I've never like, I mean, I've gotten girls flowers. That's really nothing. That's the bare minimum, honestly. But like, as far as like me, like I ain't gonna lie, and this may sound like weird or whatever, but like I'm the type of motherfucker where like if I'm in love with you, I'm gonna write you love letters and shit. I'll pop up to your job with flowers and all that. That's the type of person I am.
That's cool. That's your romance. But
why does that seem like such a bad thing?
it's not. It's not. It's a great thing.
Not a bad thing, but like, why does it seem like it always gets so overlooked? Because like,
You have to have a balance. Like one of the shit I heard is like you got to be a man that is able to kill somebody and hold a baby in the same day.
What podcast?
I've
heard that.
What type of analogy is
That's
that?
that's like in an extreme. That means you can do both. You can be the romance, but you can also like
The duality of man.
yes, basically. That's what anybody wants. That's what women want. Like they don't want just somebody who's you're head over heels for. You gotta be somebody who's romance, but you also got some shit going on for yourself. Like you're not all about this girl.
You know what? I understand what you mean. So basically what you're saying is you can be in love with that person and you can be committed to that person, but at the same time, you gotta be self-aware.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Basically, like all this should be more important than your relationship, and that's not a knock on her. That's just saying that you gotta get shit done.
Right. Like you gotta be there for you.
And
That's
she gotta understand that.
and if she doesn't,
Because this is for us, basically. Like,
If she
I'm
doesn't-
trying to make it. You know what I'm saying?
if a girl can't acknowledge that like you're staying on top of your shit and she like
She not for you.
she's not for
You tell me this shit all the time. Like, girls understanding. Like, y'all don't see each other every single day. She's not nagging you and all this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
She understands that you got a lot going for you.
Yeah, we're both pretty busy, and the one thing that keeps us together that we talk about all the time when we first got together was that we're gonna be together. We want to be together, but the priority must be on ourselves as individuals.
Yeah.
Focus on the goals we're trying to get done, and we make time for each other afterwards.
But we say 50-50 as far as like the financial thing, because it's like
Yeah.
I think effort comes from different places. Because one day I might feel like shit,
Yeah.
so I'm at 10%, 20%. She got to put in the 80, lift me up. Like,
Exactly.
She like if I'm in bed sick as fuck, she gotta be over there taking care of me, making me some chicken soup, some tea. Putting
not
in
even
the extra effort. But it's like they're basically lifting each other up.
What do y'all think about that? What is y'all's take on these gendered conversations, these red pill conversations, these relationships?
I think it's extremely repetitive and just
About what? Like what specifically?
Well, just the fact that we're having these conversations at all. I like that we're having these conversations at all, because for me, men talking about these things from their perspective didn't really exist until like 2017, 2018.
Because of how women, like, basically, like, that was when the whole monogamous women started, basically. Like, the whole OnlyFans era, the whole I don't need a man, the whole feminist era, all that shit.
It's part of it. It's part of it.
That's when it started.
I just like the fact that people are talking about this now, because I think the women have had their voice, and they've had, you know, The View and The Real and Gloria Steinem and magazines and all that to talk about things from their perspective for a while.
I think a woman's life is way easier than a man's life.
A man's life is bro, that shit's like a video game, bro. It
is, bro. And this is in chessboard. Like in the chessboard, like the queen chess piece, you can fucking skip, but the king is one step at a time.
There's so much we have to go through. There's so much we have to sacrifice in order to like have the life that we want in the future. You know?
I gotta disagree on that, man.
No, to be an important man, yeah. If you wanna be a nobody, then life is not gonna be.
Majority of dudes walking around here don't got no fucking video game life.
Yeah.
There are no risks being taken.
Yeah.
There are no adventures being going on.
Yeah, but that
They're
is
just going about their daily NPC.
if you want to be a top tier man, like it's gonna be fucking tough as fuck. But if you want to be a girl in that same position, you can just get a DM from some millionaire. You're there.
The drawbacks are that is you're potentially fucking for cash. The drawbacks of that is eventually it ends, and none of it matters because nobody cares because you're judged by your looks. The drawbacks of that, yeah, if I don't have kids by this, you know, certain amount of time, I might die on an emergency table. The drawbacks are, you know, men do see me like that, so I may not be taken seriously in certain aspects of life, be it the workforce, entrepreneurship, any type of professionalism. I feel like that the drawbacks don't make it as good as you talk about it right now.
But even in the workforce, like I think certain jobs, if you're a pretty girl, you get the job easier than a regular dude.
Pretty privilege.
Pretty privilege. That's a real thing.
Pretty
like
privilege
if you walk in a Foot Locker, or you walk in a Buc-ee's, or if you walk in any like high end store, you see all these pretty women, and that's done purposefully because that's what sells.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're providing these opportunities to women, not only because of their looks, but it definitely gives them leverage.
Oh, for sure.
For a looks type of job, sure, your looks matter. For all the non-looking jobs, for all the coders, for all the engineers, for all the people who want to be pilots, for all the trade workers, for all the bus drivers, them being pretty isn't gonna get.
But being a bus driver, like who? Like, no offense to the bus drivers, but like, who wants to be a bus driver? Like, don't you want to be like on these you know, high end jobs and shit?
You'd be surprised how much some of these jobs pay for, or how much some of these jobs pay.
Like they really take care of them. And I think the whole red pill shit is just, it gets repetitive and sounds corny at times, but I think it's just like them trying to get men to stop simping over women and start giving them all this fucking leverage. Basically, because there's guys sending thousands of dollars to women just because they're pretty, just because
That's
they talk
fucking wild.
And that's like, we need to stop that shit, bro. Like that's creating weak men.
I think when I first looked at red pill content, I think it was like Steffes Cole or something like that.
Oh,
he's a red pill content creator. It was him and MTR, mediocre tutorials and reviews. From what I've seen on red pill content, the points that I gathered from the videos, from what I've seen, was just to put yourself first.
yeah.
If a girl likes you, she'll choose and do things that you wouldn't expect.
Yeah.
And that, you know, there are certain things and attributes that most people would desire in you as a man. Everything else I kind of throw out the window for the most part. And I think that a lot of young men would be better off if they just focused on those three and not much else. Not the, you know, you don't need to be monogamous. She's probably cheating on you. She might be.
But I think that's their message, like what you gathered from them, and then the rest is just like getting an audience, like clickbait. Because that's like if you just talk about those three things, and you're just a regular dude, you're probably not gonna get that.
You're
much
not gonna
attention.
get views. You're not.
But they're smart. Like they actually think about this shit.
Have you seen Kevin Samuels? Did you ever watch Kevin Samuels?
Of course.
If you go on this page and you scroll all the way to the bottom, all he does is talk about those things that I mentioned. All he does is talk about take care of yourself first, get your money up. If you're in corporate, dress this way. He talks about colognes. He has a lot of great options. I think
I've seen
you've
this.
seen it. Like he talked about that from off rip and catered to like black men specifically. And he didn't really get as much traction. And then when he started getting, you know, talking to women, that's when it blew up. So.
When he tapped into the manosphere.
Same with Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah, that's.
He was a kickboxer. But until he started like making all these like he's actually funny as fuck.
Well, from what I've seen is that when he was a kickboxer, when he was on Twitter and whatnot in the earlier days, he still had a decent following because he was still, you know, got a Bugatti, whipping ass, cigars, models, whatever,
Yeah.
right? He still had a decent following and he was, you know, doing all right. But you're right, he didn't blow up or get this huge to where, you know, all this attention is on him until he started, you know, saying shit, you know, from the masculine perspective.
Yeah.
I have 4 wives, inshallah.
Yeah. Like you have to say all this shit to get the attention. But then when you have the audience, you can spread the good message.
And that's why controversy sells. Because people want to hear what they want to hear, bro. They want to hear shit that like you wouldn't necessarily hear from like your ordinary individual on the internet. They want to hear shit that like that you know would piss everybody off. And that's why shit like that gains so much traction.
That concludes 50 minutes. JAVI Mars. If y'all want to see more podcasts with Bryce, we'll bring them back.
Comment number 1 in the chat if y'all want to see me back, man.
Yeah, guys. Smash that like button if you enjoyed this episode.
Yes,
Be
sir.
sure to follow Javier on the socials. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below what you want us to talk about.
Yes, sir.
And anything else, fellas?
Man, I appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely, man. We appreciate you being
Hey.
here.
Pleasure's ours.
We're glad y'all sticked around for this. If you enjoyed, be sure to do that. And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Peace.